So Rafa Benitez has been around the block, hasn't he? Let's take a look at a starting 11 of some of the greatest players he has ever sold. IKER CASILLAS. Okay, so let's be honest, I'm guessing Rafa Benitez did not have that much input in this. But in July 2015, a month after Rafa took the reins at Real Madrid, IKER CASILLAS was effectively sat down in a lonely press conference and forced to tell the world that he's being forced out to FC Porto. By the look on his face, you'd have thought he'd just been sentenced to the Russian gulags, or was told he'd have to go work on the set of Geordie Shore. Come on IKER, it's not that bad. ALVARO ARBELOA. Funnily enough, ALVARO ARBELOA was still around at Real Madrid and Rafa Benitez turned up in June 2015. Didn't play much, or barely at all really, but Benitez actually sanctioned his sale to the Spanish capital in the first place back in 2009, when Madrid had just blew nearly 200 million on 3 attackers the previous month, so just decided to fork out £5 million on a right back. Either that or everybody at the club would probably have had to go hungry for a month. SAMI HYYPIA. In the same summer that Arbeloa left, Benitez also allowed SAMI HYYPIA to leave Liverpool without a fuss. A Champions League winner in 2005, in fairness the Finnish centre half had slipped down the pecking order and so was granted a move to Bayer Leverkusen to see out the final 2 years of his career. FEDERICO FERNANDEZ. To be honest now, Benitez has not sold that many great defenders, and are we surprised considering how defensive a coach that man is? The fact that Federico Fernandez makes this list, a man who could get relegated to the Championship this season, kind of shows you where we're at. In June 2014 he swapped Napoli for South Wales after he'd helped Argentina reach the World Cup final. ARNE RIISE. Liverpool might have just squeezed through against Roma in the Champions League, but at least the Italians can take heart from the fact that 10 years ago they robbed them of ARNE RIISE. I guess. The Ginger Ninja had been overtaken by Fabio Aurelio during the 07-08 season and so swapped Liverpool for the Italian capital for €5 million during the summer. GAIZKA MENDIETA. The oldest deal in the list, Benitez was only about 5 minutes in the door at Valencia when he was sanctioning the €47 million sale of GAIZKA MENDIETA to Lazio, at the time the 6th most expensive player of all time. Nowadays that wouldn't even buy you a Gylfi Sigurdsson or a Man City fullback. When Mendieta, Valencia's star man, was shipped off like that, one of Benitez's first acts since arriving from Tenerife, I'd say the fans wanted to throw their new coach off a bridge. Good job they didn't. Xabi Alonso. Benitez hasn't made a lot of mistakes in his career, but this was undoubtedly a big fat one. I'll never understand why he spent the summer of 2008 chasing Gareth Barry when he had Xabi Alonso, a genuine world star, sitting in his garage. Understandably, Alonso grew fed up of being treated as second rate to a lad who would one day grow up to become a well-known taxi thief, and so traded Liverpool for Real Madrid in a £30 million deal the following summer, while Man City signed Barry, leaving the Reds with the alternative of Alberto Aquilani. Good lord Rafa, you played that one to perfection, didn't you? Gini Wijnaldum. Yeah, bet you didn't expect to see a Newcastle player in there, did you? But yes, one of the best ever players that Benitez has ever sold was relegated under him. I mean, of course, Wijnaldum wasn't very good for Benitez. Let's be clear, he was about as much use as a wet rag away from home, and often found himself out of the team. But he's a full Dutch international, he'll be starting a Champions League final, and Liverpool paid £25 million for him. He's a good player. Daniel Sturridge. It was tough to leave out Robbie Keane, believe me as an Irishman, but I'll include a Chelsea player just for equality's sake. You might think Daniel Sturridge is about as relevant as Steve McLaren's career, and you'd be right. The man has done virtually nothing over the last 4 years. But when he did leave Chelsea for Liverpool in January 2013 for £12 million, just a couple of months into Benitez's reign, he was electrifying. 35 goals in his first 49 games for the Reds. Terrific. Edinson Cavani. Like Mendieta, Napoli fans must be thinking, what are you doing, lad? When one of Benitez's first port of calls was to sanction the €64 million sale to PSG, again making him the 6th most expensive player of all time. And again, just a few weeks after Rafa's unveiling. Michael Owen. Benitez really likes to get rid of a big player when he first arrives somewhere, doesn't he? To be fair, Michael Owen was the one who seemed keen for the move to Real Madrid back in 2004. The fact that Rafa went and won the Champions League with a strike force of Djibril Cissé, Milan Barros, Florent Cinema Pongol and Neil Mellor justifies logic. That's like preparing a 5-star meal with nothing but cardboard and a spoon. Owen signed for Madrid on a cut price £8 million deal following Euro 2004, and subsequently went about destroying what was sure to be a once promising Anfield legacy.